Two good bids by the Warriors, and Menotti in her first action of the year, two nice stops. Knights win it behind their goal. It's going to be Swiderski trying to get it up the right wing side against Oosterveld. Pulled free now. Knocked down the ice, goes into the bench area. Here's the replay of the hurry marker. Good save by Menotti, I should say, my mistake. Good stop by Julia Menotti in her action last year. .863 save percentage, 4-1-1 in the campaign. Clarkson to lead 1-0 on the Kiera Hurry goal. Gay, two nice spins to alleviate pressure. Touch down the ice, Knights on it. It's going to be pass across, and Hicks and Stevenson had a bid towards net. Out along with Gay below the goal line. Touch deep by Bailey Kerwin. Gay pinches in right wing corner, backhands it around behind. Stevenson to it, left wing side. Kerwin a piece. Held on to and brought out by the Warriors. Clarkson up on a Kiera Hurry power play marker. 1-0. With almost half of the first period played. Don't have a special guest for the entire second period. New ECAC Commissioner Doug Christensen will join us. Replaced one of the all-time great people in hockey, Steve Hagwell. Retired at the end of the men's championships last year. Long pass down the ice, icing signaled for and called after Ferguson's pass too far. 10:13 to go in the first. And Hurry has the only marker of the contest. Petrie got the assist, Malone assist, her second point on consecutive games. Off the glass win. Keeps it in with her knees. Now Morissette chasing right wing corner. Touch back for Goodwin and Win. It gets past both. Goodwin will play it to the open ice left wing side. Lappin moves towards it and holds. Ahead for Morissette. In for Lappin behind the goal. Lappin moves in front, short side shot, save made. Nice one on a penalty. Petrie wins it. In the high slot, backhands it towards goal, tipped and it goes in. It might be Morissette. And if it is, it will be her first career goal, giving Clarkson a 2-0 lead. It is. The backhander by Petrie, tipped by Morissette. Petrie, 2 assists. And here's the replay. Good steal by Petrie, a backhander, and Morissette, a piece of it, going right through the pads. So 2 Knights freshmen. Have the Knights on top, 2-0. So the Drummondville, Quebec native, Rebecca Morissette, gets the marker. Quick shot and a shoulder save made on Swiderski. Slapper from the right point by Hogarth. Swiderski dives, pokes it ahead, Knights in onside. McQuigg falls against the boards, lost it. Here comes a 2-on-1 the other way for the Warriors, led by Haley Chang. Pass looking for a streaking Sarah Hurst just wide of her. Out come the Knights. Knights want a penalty there as Cherkowski tried to make a move around Gisler. None forthcoming. 2-0 Knights on top here. Now Kirsten McQuigg knocked to the ice. Kept alive by McQuigg in the right wing corner. 8:08 to go in this first frame. 2-0 Clarkson in the lead. On the possession is Haley Chang behind her net. A nice reverse. Up and ahead, rolled down the ice, icing waved off against Merrimack. McQuigg up the wall for Gay. Oh, yeah, hit from behind here on the Warriors. That might be more than just a 2. Once it's touched, Ingles is called for the penalty. They are chatting, let's see. Two for boarding. On Ingles. .12:28, time of the penalty. So we'll keep it here. We'll wait for the power play to begin, or the expiration of the power play. 6 players, 3-on-3, digging in the left wing corner. Knights pull it out from behind the pile. Now pass in front for a tip as Gay came down the slot on Trukowski's pass. Gosling walks in, shoots. That hit his shoulder, bounced down. Clarkson up 2-0 here, out shooting the Warriors 4-2. Shot attempts, though, a lot of have been blocked. Now we get a whistle for interference being called on the Knights, as Brooke McQuigg took the penalty, lifting the stick of the Warrior player. So that power play lasts but 45 seconds. 13-13, time of the penalty. Clarkson 2, Merrimack nothing. It'll be a 4-on-4 for 75 seconds, and then the Warriors get the abbreviated power play. Evans back up top. Shot blocked there from the high slot by the Knights and Darcy Lappin. On the 4-on-4, it's Petrie now taking it away. She has 2 assists in the first frame. Wynn, right side, moves to the goal line, holds and moves behind the net. Wynn moves out to the high slot, shoots! Save made by Hogarth. Knights still with possession now. Inside the zone, lose it. As Oosterveld's pass, knocked down, McKinley gets it. Chang over the line, fades right. Chang double team to the corner, wraps it back around, left wing side. Possessed here by the Warriors now in the right wing corner. Clarkson in the lead, 2-0. And puck goes up and out of play here. 5:27 to go. The first power play is over for the Knights. Now the power play on for the Warriors here for another 28 seconds, cleared down the ice by the Golden Knights. Out of the box, Engels goes for Tedenby. Nice slick pass along for Forsberg over the line right side. Back to the high slot, chance for the goal, save made, rebound, and 2 nice stops there by Minotti. Up top for Engels. She'll shoot, that's blocked by Kerwin Out come the Knights. Long pass for Korn off the skate just a bit too far as the power play expires. Tedenby, another good bump along the boards. Here's the call of move it from the referee. Catterall looks for a backdoor feed, and Stevenson couldn't quite reach it. May have been tipped by a Merrimack Warrior stick. 4:23 to go in the first period. Clarkson in the lead 2-0. The freshmen have led with 2 goals by Morissette and Hurry. Now a shot towards goal, save and dropped and covered by Hogarth. But the Knights get 2 quick goals from their freshmen. Kira Hurry and Rebecca Morissette. And on the Taco Bell scoreboard, it's Clarkson 2, Merrimack nothing. This is Golden Knights Hockey on ESPN+.
Garrett behind the net, off the back of net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! Hazelman to the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Skill, physicality, home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Welcome back to Clarkson's Chill Arena. Knights have a 2-0 lead with 4:11 to go in the first period of play. Hurry and Morissette the goals for the Golden Knights. More pressure from Clarkson inside Merrimack's end. Swiderski. Shot off the back wall. Backdoor chance for Bogdan, knocked down off the backboards, and it's going to be pulled out and brought ahead by the Warriors and Alex Ferguson. She gets it back into Knights territory. Clarkson possesses again, pass beyond the reach, and icing will be waved off. Fournette chasing Engels back on it. They dig a left wing board with 3:33 to go in the first period. It's a 2-0 Clarkson advantage. Bogdan slashing for it. Swiderski pulls it. Won by Fournette, who scored a goal last night. Knights keep it alive and play it below the goal line. One now by Jenna Goodwin. Moves to the high slot on her forehand. Keeps it alive, drops it back off to the left point for Hurry. Hurry plays it towards the net. That's Engels in the way of that one, and she'll glass it down the ice. This will be an icing. Called on the Warriors with 2:50 to go in period number 1. Late on the power play, Kara Hurry scored from Dominique Petrie. And then Petrie also a nice feed in front, and Morissette a tip to the 5-hole of Hogarth, giving Clarkson a 2-0 advantage. Wristed around on the faceoff. Goodwin blocks the clearing attempt, brings it ahead now. Goodwin towards the goal. Drop pass back for a shot and a shoulder save. Hard wrister by Lappin. Hogarth got a piece of it with her shoulder, ramping it into the netting above the goal. Don't forget, stay tuned in period number 2. We'll be joined by ECAC Commissioner Doug Christensen for the entirety of the period. Quick chance in front for Goodwin. Oh, what a feed and what a shot and a better save as Gay came down the wall and Goodwin popped out for the quick shot. Warriors change forwards, bringing out Lindbergh, Reeb, and Edmonds. The round behind now. Lappin waits for it. Goodwin puts on pressure. Good turn by Edmonds. However, nice steal. Goodwin fades in front. McQuigg from the right point knocks it back into the corner. Goodwin out of the corner, waits and shoots, and the save is made by Hogarth with Lappin waiting for a rebound. 2:10 remains in the first period. Knights change all five. Wynn and Gosling at the point. Petrie, Churkowski, and Brooke McQuigg out up front. Around behind and kept alive now by Gosling. The Warriors have some time and space to bring it ahead. Maria Lindbergh off the boards and head off the referee, Terry Page. Loose puck for Lindbergh, moving in front for a shot, and a stop there by Minotti. She's got 5 saves. 4 of them have been pretty high quality. Nemus gets it along now as Edmonds rolls it around behind. Warriors change. Win behind her net. Her first is here for McQuigg. Long pass ahead now. Knights on the move. Churkowski drives towards goal. Backhander by Petrie. She couldn't quite pull it to her backhand. Petrie up top for Gosling. Gosling 2-1. Last time Petrie a shot. That hits a skate, goes up and over the goal. Churkowski for Petrie. She swings and misses on the pass in front. Played back past Gosling's reach with 70 seconds to go in the first. Petrie over the line. Churkowski waits. Feed by Petrie, kicked along by Engels. Nice play by her. Kirsten McQuigg. Back for Wynn for a wrister through a screen, knocked down. Swiderski off the rebound. Moves to the left point. McQuigg for Stevenson. Her shot well wide of the goal with under a minute to go in the first. Played past Wynn, icing waved off, back down the ice. Wynn pressured behind the Knights net. Kerwin to the line and out. Knights on the move now, brought ahead by Rhea Hicks. The Syracuse transfer. Hicks looks for a pass in front. That's taken away. Now Hicks steals again. We get a whistle. We're going to have a penalty called here for a cross check on the Golden Knights. First penalty of the year for Bridget Stevenson. And this gives Merrimack their first full power play with 27 seconds to go. In the first period. Evans for Oosterveld to her right. Shot towards Minotti. A great pad save. A good one's clearing attempt stopped by Evans to the left point. Good play by her for Oosterveld. 12 to go in the period, and that'll do it with a clear. The Knights will enter the first intermission with the lead at 2-0. Minotti 6 saves, and 5 of them have been very strong in goal for Matt DeRosiers. So Clarkson gets 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the first from freshman Kira Hurry and from Rebecca Morissette at the end of one period of play. The Taco Bell scoreboard here from Chile Arena. It is the Golden Knights in the lead over Merrimack. Clarkson's women 2, Merrimack nothing. Back with intermission number 1 after this on ESPN+.
Shigerian behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside. inside. Possible shot. Score! He's the one to the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Today what we're doing is we're hiking up the Ampersand Mountain Trailhead, and we're looking at both impacts along the trail. But what we're adding to that is just comparing what the forest is like directly around the trail versus what the forest is like 100 feet off the trail, to see how that changes both the structure of the tree, and that may or may not change our perception of the recreational users of this site. And what's cool about the Ampersand Trailhead is that it passes through this area of old-growth temperate northern hardwood forests. This includes trees like the sugar maple, which is a big tree, and eastern hemlock and yellow birch. And it's really a great example of old-growth forests in eastern United States. Really, it's one of the finest examples of an old-growth temperate northern hardwood forest in the world. You know, we're mixing this like a strict plant ecology, community ecology study with this recreational dynamics to try to get an idea of how to approach this really complicated problem of recreational overuse in the high peaks.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! He's the one to the back and
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Today what we're doing is we're hiking up the Ampersand Mountain Trailhead, and we're looking at both impacts along the trail. But what we're adding to that is just comparing what the forest is like directly around the trail versus what the forest is like 100 feet off the trail, to see how that changes both the structure of the tree, and that may or may not change our perception of the recreational users of this site. And what's cool about the Ampersand trailhead is that it passes through this area of old-growth temperate northern hardwood forests. This includes trees like the sugar maple, which is a big tree, and eastern hemlock and yellow birch. And it's really a great example of old-growth forests in eastern United States. Really, it's one of the finest examples of an old-growth temperate northern hardwood forest in the world. You know, we're mixing this like a strict plant ecology, community ecology study with this recreational dynamics to try to get an idea of how to approach this really complicated problem of recreational overuse in the high peaks.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Garrett behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! Hazelman to the back and
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Today what we're doing is we're hiking up the Ampersand Mountain Trailhead, and we're looking at both impacts along the trail. But what we're adding to that is just comparing what the forest is like directly around the trail versus what the forest is like 100 feet off the trail, to see how that changes both the structure of the tree, and that may or may not change our perception of the recreational users of this site. And what's cool about the Ampersand trailhead is that it passes through this area of old-growth temperate northern hardwood forests. This includes trees like the sugar maple, which is a big tree, and eastern hemlock and yellow birch. And it's really a great example of old-growth forests in eastern United States. Really, it's one of the finest examples of an old-growth temperate northern hardwood forest in the world. You know, we're mixing this like a strict plant ecology, community ecology study with this recreational dynamics to try to get an idea of how to approach this really complicated problem of recreational overuse in the high peaks.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
And welcome back on ESPN Plus and Stretch. On our Canadian streaming, it is a 2-0 lead for the Clarkson Golden Knights women over the Merrimack College Warriors in Game 2 of this two-game set. Coming to you live from the broadcast booth, brought to you by our friends at Roberts Sports of Malone. It is the Knights in the lead, 2-zip, 2 first-period goals from 2 freshmen for the Clarkson Golden Knights in this contest. It was Kira Hurry scoring at the 2:37 mark, and then Morissette scored about halfway through the first period of play. Morissette, a tip of a shot from Dominique Petrie. She had 2 assists in the first period of play for Clarkson. Petrie an assist yesterday, and Clarkson's 5-0 win here at Shield over the Warriors to open up the campaign. Clarkson's women host Boston College next Friday and Saturday. Friday's game on ESPN Plus and also on the radio locally on B99.3 FM. And then Saturday's game is a 3 o'clock start on ESPN Plus only here in the North Country. Julia Minotti got the start in goal today for the Golden Knights. She had 5 saves on 5 shots, and Hogarth stopped 9 of 11 for the Merrimack College Warriors, who had some really good chances. Minotti, I think, had the better of the saves in that first period of play, as she had some real tight ones and tough ones to stop, and Minotti made some nice stops. Out-of-town scores are brought to you by J.C. Merriman's on the Potsdam Norwood Road here, as we have some scores to report in intermission number 1. The graphic will not be able to pop up, but it is a 1-0 lead, or 2-0 lead for St. Cloud State over Union right now. Also, it is RPI and RIT playing at 3 o'clock. That was a 1-1 draw last night. St. Lawrence lost to Colgate 4-1 yesterday. They're not playing again today. And Toronto is playing Cornell right now. That game is just underway down in Ithaca in the exhibition game. Toronto had the exhibition game on Friday against Toronto as well. That game was at Princeton. Finally, one other exhibition game yesterday. Quinnipiac won in overtime over University of Connecticut by the score of 4-3 in overtime for the Bobcats. So the team's about to head back onto the ice with out-of-town scores. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scores now as the, again, RIT, RPI playing at 3 o'clock. Toronto Cornell, also a 3 o'clock start. And Union is at St. Cloud to open up their campaign. 2-0 is the lead right now for the Huskies over Union College. Teams are back onto the ice as we get set for period number 2. Here in Potsdam. Minotti in the goal for the Golden Knights. Joined by Doug Christensen, the ECAC Men's and Women's Commissioner now, and he'll join us for the entire period. Doug, welcome aboard.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate the hospitality I've had so far today, including yourself.
Well, it's good to have you on board here, and it's 2-0 for the Clarkson women. You were at St. Lawrence yesterday. When you took the job, I think you're blessed to have not only a strong men's league, but a stronger women's league as well.
2 great leagues. Obviously, both had 4 teams in the NCAA tournament last year. 3 of the last 10 national championships on both sides. So really strong. And for me, it's been fun to get back on campus, see the schools. As a player in the league a lifetime ago, you get to see the rinks, but to see the improvements and to be able to see the facilities, it's excellent.
So a lifetime ago, that makes me feel even older because I broadcast your games here in Potsdam against when you played for Union. Get to that in a moment as our Merrimack on the power play right now. But let's go back to your playing career at Union College. You were an ECAC student athlete, and what was that experience like as you moved when you left high school and junior to come to college hockey? Do you expect to have that kind of experience?
I loved it. It's part of the reason why I'm back. It was 4 of the best years of my life. My best friends, some of my best memories We're playing at Union. We're attending class at Union. We're the people that I met there. And then, obviously going on the road and playing in all the great buildings in our league. I said to Matt before the game, I was never scratched in the North Country, so I didn't have the opportunity to see the campus, but I was scratched in plenty of other places, so it was good for me to be able to walk around, see St. Lawrence yesterday, see Clarkson today, see the academic buildings, see the athletic facilities. So, but it was great for me. I loved it. And I've joked many times it was probably the truth. I had so much fun. I made my brother go. He's a 2010 graduate from Union. So we both have strong ECAC hockey ties.
Power play expiring right now for Merrimack. They are down 2-0 Gisler at the right point. We'll roll it back in deep here. And Oosterveld will pass across as the Knights are back at 5-on-5 with the Clarkson women in the lead. 2-zip and a chance here for Goodwin. A long pass for Bogdan down the ice on the backhand. She'll shoot. And a nice skate there. Save there.
Nice chance there.
Hogarth. That was how the Knights scored their first goal yesterday. Backdoor feed.
Luck.
And another pass across, knocked down in front as Gay, one of the transfers coming in. That's something I want to talk to you about. The transfer portal has changed things significantly in all of college sports, and hockey is included in that icing called here against Merrimack. That's something as a commissioner I'm sure you're dealing with on a daily basis.
It is. I think it's something that will level itself out a little bit. I think there's a little bit of everybody's trying to feel things out. I think that the exterior of COVID has an impact. I think that there's student athletes who committed at younger ages who might not have had the right fit or didn't develop as a player in their time, or for whatever reason. Maybe there's a coaching change, and so I think that it will level itself out, but I do think that it's here to stay. I think that there's a part of it where you want student athletes to find the right places for them to grow and to develop as a person, as a player. Sometimes they don't have that fit, so you want them to be able to have that opportunity. But at the same time, you don't want to have institutions poaching each other's players, creating those negative relationships that can happen, and as we've seen happen in not just other sports, but our sport as well. So it's a delicate balance between wanting student athletes to be able to find the right place to be, and at the same time making sure that you don't have certain institutions really cherry picking the athletes from other schools.
Still 2-0 here in favor of Clarkson Ingalls. We're joined by Doug Christensen, the new ECAC commissioner as for men's and women's ice hockey, and former Union College student athlete, professional hockey player as well in more locations than I think you've been to. A few.
You had to do some research apparently. And
it's your hockey DB scorecard here. A shot towards Renati wide of the goal. Gay pulls it free, and she's one of the transfers we had mentioned for the Golden Knights. Ferguson passes to her left, a wrister at the net, tipped, and that hits the top of the goal post over Renati's glove.
That was a good bounce. That was a tricky bounce right there.
Certainly was. Gay up and out. So as you were looking at things, as Gay dumps it down the ice, and that's a nice wedge on goal. 16-16 to go in the second period. 2-0 Clarkson in the lead. As you were coming into this position, how much did the women's strength embolden you to want to take this job as you look at this league?
Well, first of all, I mean, when I was looking, the band's fantastic, by the way, but it's got me going right now. When I was first looking at the job and I was taking stock of all the opportunities, I hadn't fully appreciated all of the strength that was there, not just from the national championship police that Clarkson had, but all of the international players. There are 17 women who are on the Canadian national team at the World Championship last year. Incredible numbers, and as you start to keep going through those, and then you see the draft the other day with literally half the first round are former Clarkson student athletes. You're able to look at that, and you're really able to push that and to sell that. And you saw obviously Danielle Serdachny yesterday with Colgate at St. Lawrence, so you have some of the best players in the world. And as a commissioner, you want to be able to promote that. You want to be able to amplify the success that the student athletes are having on the ice and the things that they're doing away from the rink as well. And that we're fortunate to have that in spades. And you saw that obviously the other day with the draft, with eight different institutions with at least one player drafted in another institution with a player signed before the draft even started. So a lot of depth and a lot of high-end talent.
Some high-end speed from Kerwin to outrace the icing for the Golden Knights. They have a 2-0 lead, and Doug, at the next whistle, we're going to have a graphic about Clarkson's draft picks in the PWHL draft. Hurry to her right. looking for Swiderski, who dives and pokes it. Swiderski is a player who played for Team Canada in the Challenge Series in Lake Placid last month around now. Merrimack with some numbers.
We had a number
the
of
other way.
coaches there. Yeah, we had Chelsea from Colgate, obviously Liz from Dartmouth. So really good opportunities for coaches in our league to showcase themselves and their talents at the international level, which, you know, obviously you have Greg Fargo with Team Canada and Doug Darrow with Team Canada at this upcoming World Championships.
And they were scouting the U18s and the U23s, as it were, with 14:21 to go in the second period. Clarkson enjoys a 2-0 lead. Horlock holds for Merrimack. Stolen over the Knights. They have some numbers if they want with Goodwin. Poked off Hurstick, followed up by the Knights and dumped in around behind by Morissette, who scored her first career goal on a tip.
That's always a nice moment. First career goal.
First puck.
First puck, you got to have it for the rest of your life.
Morissette pulls it free and backhands it softly across for Alexi Gay. Knights with the 2-zip lead. Lappin for Morissette to the line right side. Try to drop pass into the slot area, looking for Goodwin. She's knocked off of it. Players dig along the right wing boards. The Knights will go for a line change here. So when you were at Union, women's hockey just getting underway here as the icing will be called on Union here. I'll give you the graphic right now. Like, take a look at it. There were 8 Golden Knights drafted in the PWHL. That should pop up. But and then the one we're not mentioning.
Literally half of the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. So
Shelton, Harmon, and Ambrose all go in the first round. That doesn't count Renata Fast, who's a free agent signed by Toronto. Jamie Lee Rattray, who's got a Kazmaier Award winner.
We actually posted her in our graphic for the draft. I mean, it was a great day for Clarkson. I texted Matt, just after the first round, and just, a credit to him and to the program to have that level of success. But it's also a reflection of the success. Nice goal there.
Wynn shoots and scores. Haley Wynn, one a player who will probably be at some point in time in the PWHL. She's on the U.S. national team, and her wrister crawls inside the left goal post, and Haley Wynn gives Clarkson a 3-0 lead, a player that certainly will be considered professionally when her career is done here.
Well, and really good net front traffic as well. Made it difficult for the goalie to see. Nice puck going through. It looked like it got a deflection late. Not sure who got that, if it went straight in or if it went off a defenseman. But again, good things happen when you have people at the net front.
So it's right. I'm sure you played for Kevin Snedden there, right? At Union College?
I did. All 4 years I was recruited by Stan Moore, and Stan left to go to Colgate just about a month before school started. But I had really good experience at Union, and was excited to go when Sneds called me. I was obviously built a relationship with him through the recruiting process. Again, nice play there with Clarkson. 2 players at the net front. Really good opportunity to spread this game even further apart.
If Wynn's goal holds for her, it would be her first of the year, her 3rd point. Now chance in front as they had it.
Chance there.
Shot in the save by Hogarth. Rebound, they dig away, and it's loose in the net front. Knocked away to the left point.
Clarkson's doing a great job getting to the net front.
Lappin will hold it against the boards here, and or Laidlaw, I should say, knocked away from her back down the ice. So Wynn the goal. We mentioned Haley Wynn because she and Savannah Harmon on the World Championship team last year, and also favored to be on the Olympic squad when it comes up in 26.
Well, I mean, you look at the talent throughout the league.
Here's a break for the Warriors and a great save by
Nice
Menotti.
save. Really nice save. And no penalty on the play either, which I think is a good no call.
We get a penalty upcoming now against the Golden Knights. This time it'll be an interference call. But the international experiences that the Knights have had, St. Lawrence has had, Colgate's had, how big is that when the women are recruiting in your eyes?
I think it's huge. In the same way for the men, the National Hockey League is a key driver. On the women's side, it's opportunities to represent their country. And it's been incredible to see how many women have played for the Canadian national team, the American national team. I mean, we're going to see that firsthand this spring in Utica, where the United States is hosting the World Championships. And you think about the coaches who are going to be there. You think about the players who are going to be there. We are actually in Utica on Friday, looking at the space, just getting a better understanding of the venue, and really exciting things going on in the women's game. And for us to be able to, see our coaches just down the road, really in our footprint, to see our players just down the road in our footprint, it's something that's really great for our league. And I know that the coaches have had a lot of success recruiting in Canada. And now, obviously, we want to continue to grow that in the United States as well, where from a geography point of view, the highest state with the most Division I players is Minnesota. So obviously, as a league, we want to continue to have the success that we do in Canada and dip a little bit more into my part of the country, being a Wisconsin native, getting into Minnesota and the Midwest.
Well, I want to go back to when you were recruited here with a minute to go in the Merrimack power play. Clarkson leads 3-0. You mentioned Stan Moore Jr. I know both the Moore. Stan's father passed away. He was a legendary high school hockey coach in Messina, where I happened to grow up as well. And, Mark Morris played for him. Did you play for Mark?
I did.
For a year in Manchester?
Mo. Yeah, I played for Mo and have kept in contact with him over the years. Actually saw him when I went to Lake Placid a couple of years ago when he was coaching at Northwood, and he's been really good to me. Obviously, had a lot of success here, and was able to get him, coach his way to the National Hockey League, which not everybody can do.
Zott with a backhander wide of the goal. It's a 3-0 Clarkson lead. We're joined by ECAC Men's and Women's Hockey Commissioner Doug Christensen here. 9:49 to go in this second period. And a penalty coming here on the Warriors.
Yeah, that was pretty clearly undisciplined penalty there in the offensive zone. I'm sure that's something that early in the year you can take a look at in video, and it's a good teaching moment for the rest of the year. But a little bit of frustration there for Merrimack.
Oosterveld takes the penalty, and 4-on-4 hockey here, 9:40 to go. So our under 10 break will have to wait. Clarkson will get a power play upcoming. So as you look forward, what are the things you'd like to see implemented? You're in your first 90 days, it's kind of hard to say, but as you look forward 10 years down the road, where do you want the league on the women's and men's side to be?
Well, I think on both sides, the biggest thing is growing the brand. I think that we have some of the biggest brands in the world. We have defending national champion on the men's side. As we touched on earlier, both men's and women's had 4 teams in the NCAA tournament, 3 of the last 10 national championships. I mean, there's just so much to sell. But then it's not just what's happening in the league, it's where our student athletes are going. They're general managers of PWHL teams. They are general managers of NHL teams. They're working in the NHL front office. They're in all sorts of different walks of life. I mean, General Milley is a Princeton hockey alum. I mean, you have all of these fantastic people that have come through our schools, and so being able to solidify what that is, being able to amplify what that is, I think is job number one, and that's started right away. And then the second part is finding ways to generate new revenue, new opportunities. That obviously helps the bottom line of all of our institutions, but it's also a way of being able to give more things to the student athletes. That was a great little play there by Clarkson. Great movement on the power play.
Yeah, a kind of a diamond or a box passing.
Good rotation to find a seam, really good look, nice creation, something there that I'm sure Matt's been working on with his players in preparation. Mid-season form on that play. But so really being able to generate new revenue, to grow the brand, and then to be able to, once we've done that, find new opportunities to accentuate what we're doing. So whether that's finding ways to make the experience at Lake Placid even better for our fans, finding opportunities on the women's side, maybe looking at neutral site opportunities. I think all of those things are ways that we can, as a league, help our institutions, help the student athletes. Nice look there.
Win with a pass in front, and Cherkowski got blocked here with now 28 to go in the ninth power play. They have a 3-0 lead. My name is Bob Alford, along with Doug Christensen, the men's and women's ECAC hockey commissioner. As Gay takes the feed down the wall, shoots in. The goaltender didn't see it. It rolls back down the ice. Strong power play and possession for the Golden Knights, Doug.
Great job there. Again, that really good look. They had an opportunity to put it away with that backhand pass into the slot. Great look on the forehand. They weren't able to put it in, but that might have been a bridge too far for Merrimack. but still pushing here.
Now Petrie possesses, the power play expires. 7.5 to go in the second. Icing will be called and waved off. A good hustle there by Darcy Lappin for the Knights.
Great hustle play there. That's the stuff that you show on your Monday morning film session. Those are the little things that help you win hockey games.
Lappin knocked to the ice now with the Knights getting the lone goal of the second period. Haley Wynn scoring at 7:10. Hurry, one of the Knights' freshmen, keeps it alive in the zone. Oosterveld pokes it along for Merrimack. Horlock walks in and shoots, and a stick save by Minotti. A penalty coming here as Oosterveld is knocked to the ice. And with that, we will take our break. Coming into the power play, 13 minutes to go, or maybe not. Let's see. There'll be a body checking call on the Knights.
The referees are talking here, not exactly sure what they're talking about. Find out what the final call is going to be here.
They're looking at potentially more.
Up Shigaren behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets to the inside, Pasma shot, score! Hazelwood to the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
It's fun to see the ECAC commercial live in the building. We've been waiting all summer for it, so it's good to see hockey's back.
It's great, very well produced. So they're looking at a potential more than a 2 against a Golden Knight for a hold. I think that's it. Penalty.
Yeah, I wasn't
Merrimack
sure
on the
exactly
board,
what they were looking for there, but obviously the referees felt as though they wanted to get a better look, and it looks like it's just going to be 2 minutes for Clarkson on the kill.
Swiderski again. So Doug Christensen here with Merrimack going on the power play. He's the new men's and women's ECAC hockey commissioner. And as you mentioned, growing the brand, what are some of the ways you're hoping to take this, especially the women's game, to the next level?
Well, I think the first thing is social media. I think that's where people are getting their information, especially kids that are of recruiting age. And you look at what we did, I thought Matt and his staff did an absolutely fantastic job. If you look at the Instagram takeover, and I strongly suggest anybody who's listening to this to look at Clarkson's Instagram, and then by extension ECAC Hockey's Instagram, and take a look at what Clarkson's facilities look like. A really good example is we had them do a takeover there. The first one, every program's 2-on-1 here. Short-handed, great
Bogdan
opportunity.
and Goodwin, and Bogdan on the back end for Goodwin for a shot. Oh, what a save!
Fantastic
what a stop
save,
from
fantastic
the goaltender.
save. Merrimack going the other way now.
Hogarth, short-handed bid for the Knights. Tedenby will hold for the Warriors, still on the power play with 1:08 to go in it. You mentioned the Instagram takeover and the facilities here, and Clarkson did a great job.
They did a fantastic job, and as I said, I would definitely go take a look at it. But that's a really good example of showing not only fans who want to see the behind the scenes, but seeing potential student athletes and giving them really a sense of what is it like to play in the ECAC? What's it like to come to the dressing room? What does the weight room look like? Those little things I think really matter. And then by extension, we can monetize those things. And we're able to sell the highlights in our league. We've been able to do that with Howie's Hockey Tape. And you'll see that over the course of the year, that on Sunday mornings, the highlight tape from the weekend, which credit to Nick Serbinski coming up with the name of it, Howie's highlight tape every Sunday, that we're going to be able to show what the men and women do and collaborate with them. And they've got 300 plus followers on Instagram. That's an opportunity for our student athletes to get into the phones of parents, coaches, influencers alike, and that raises the profile of our league.
Another penalty kill for the Golden Knights. You're leading 3-0 as it's flipped down the ice and icing is waved off.
So far, Clarkson's had more opportunities on the kill than Merrimack's had in the power play. So coming back into 5-on-5, great kill by Clarkson.
It's a great stop by Hogarth for Merrimack as the puck goes up and out of play here. Well, Doug, 4:48 to go in this second period. Thanks for coming along. And on the men's side of things, especially a North Country boy like myself, seeing our championship at Lake Placid is a big deal, and I know it is to you guys as well.
It's a special place. I went there for the first time 2 years ago. One of the problems that I had when I was at Union is I got a lot of spring breaks, and none of them were in Lake Placid. They got to other parts of the country, so I didn't get a chance to see it as a player. I was blown away by it my first time there. But one of the things I'm just really excited for is trying to put some of the touches on that we've had success with the USHL, which is where I was coming from previously, with the events where I want a fan, they accept the fact that, you go to a Final Four, you see Clarkson there, they have had success, they've had a great season, but the outcomes are uncertain. I want to make sure that a fan who spends the money, spends the time, brings their family and goes to Lake Placid, has a great experience as a fan. And whether that's, finding fun activities to do associated with the event, whether that's live music or, beer garden or little things that we can try to do to make the event that much more enjoyable for the fans we want to do. And then at the same token, we want to do those little things for the men and women in our championships that make it a little bit special, that make it a little bit different than a regular season game, that has that level of cachet, has that level of enjoyable opportunities for them that make it a great experience whether they win or lose.
Nice stop moments ago by Julia Benatti, who had her first save of the second period on the scoreboard anyway. Knights leading 3-0, win the lone goal. Two freshmen scored, Hurry and Morissette for the Knights in the first. Win, a junior in the second for Clarkson. They lead at 3-0 after winning 5-0 yesterday. One last one for, always the football being the driver of all college athletics, rightly or wrongly. And there's the big, another great reformation in conferences. You always wonder if it's going to happen in our league. And I think one of the beauties of our league, and Coach Jones mentioned it on the men's side, is I think this women's and men's ECAC hockey is the highest level when you combine the academics and athletic ability.
It is what college sports were, and it still is. And that's what everybody grew up on. That's what everybody romanticized was great student athletes, people who are in the classroom, people who are committed to their team, committed to their schools, schools being committed to the teams and supporting the teams. It's really what our league is. I also think that you look at our geography, the fact that we have exactly 12 women's teams, 12 men's teams. I think that all the schools help each other. Some schools help push the bar and raise the standard for others in some areas, and some do the exact same in other areas. And that's either on the men's side or the women's side. It could be facilities, could be the coaching that the student athletes are having. And I think that that's a driver across the board for our league. And I also think that where we're based from a geography point of view, everybody understands where we are. We understand our footprint, and now we know who we are. Now we have to push that out there and grow and to develop who we are, because the women and men are really, really strong. And obviously the changes in college sports, of course they impact us, but I do think that we should build from the strength that we already have. And I think our fans are able to come to rinks throughout our league and see great hockey for men and women, and know that a top team in the ECAC can go on and win the national championship, which is obviously a lot of fun for the people on campus.
Well, it was certainly a thrill last year to see the Bobcats of Quinnipiac win their first national title over. Again, it's always coming from, I went to a Power 5 school, University of Missouri, and some of my friends talk about, how does a school like a Clarkson compete? And generally, hockey's a different animal. A school this size can compete and thrive against a school that's got 40,000 students.
It is, and you know what? I think it's one of those things where because of the conference setup, because of the way that the top teams in our conference obviously get into the NCAA tournament, they can have the success, and then it comes down to matchups. It's not just hockey. You know, you see upsets in basketball all the time where a smaller school beats a bigger school. In a single game elimination, anybody can win, and you see, you know, you look at the resources. Quinnipiac has great resources. They do a great job supporting their program, but they have success against Minnesota, Michigan, and Ohio State on their way to or Penn State, anyway, 3 Big Ten schools in a row. And, you know, they're able to have that success because they found ways to win the hockey game. And so that's a leveler for us as a league from the student population size. But it's also something that the coaches can talk to at the beginning of the year. Listen, if you come in, you have success in our league, it prepares you to be able to go on and win a national championship. And so that makes your summer lifting better. That makes your weekends and all those workouts that you have in the fall, preparing all those long practices, that you're not just trying to have success by trying to win a few games here and there, but rather you're trying to be the best team in the country. And, you know, I'm sure Casey and Matt have been talking about that recently. And that's the fun part for a student at Clarkson right now, is to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go over to the rink, see a game, and I might be seeing the next, you know, national champion. And obviously on the women's side, see women who are going to be in the World Championships in the Olympics, and on the men's side in the National Hockey League.
Timeout called by Merrimack here. We just under a minute to go in this first period of play. Some final thoughts for you, Doug, as this period winds down here. Thanks so much for taking the time with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You know, again, any final thoughts on your end?
Well, I'm just grateful. I'm going around all the campuses before, I'll get there before Thanksgiving. So special thanks to my wife, obviously, for watching the 2 kids with my mother-in-law. You know, so I can be out and I can see all the campuses. I can meet with the athletic directors. I can meet with college presidents when possible, and obviously meet with both coaches. It's really important for me to know what our league looks like today. And I'm really here to try to make sure that the student athletes have a fantastic experience. The coaches are put in a position to succeed with the resources. The athletic directors understand exactly what the business looks like. And then at the same time, make sure that the students and the support in the community know that they're coming to a building that is going to be fun, it's going to be energetic, and they're seeing great hockey. And so I'm just very, very grateful for the opportunity that I've been given. And I'm going to do my absolute best to grow our league and make it the best league we possibly can. And we're not going to take a backseat to anybody. Our expectations are high, and that's the way we want it to be.
One more rush here for the Golden Knights as the 23 seconds to go in the second period. Morissette, who has Clarkson's second goal, will take it along the corner here. Morissette out in front. She'll shoot.
Nice chance.
And save is made loose on the rebound, and Hogarth covers it up as it laid in the blue.
Great play off the wall into the net front. Nice opportunity. I thought that the second chance might have snuck through, but nice save.
So the Knights looking to hold this 3-0 lead. They won 5-0 yesterday. And you were over at Appleton yesterday watching Colgate, who picked atop the league, and they look strong again.
They looked really strong. Good game with St. Lawrence. Colgate was able to pull away a little bit late, but definitely back and forth. I'd say St. Lawrence had a lot of really nice chances, and same with Colgate. 2 teams that, you know, you look at, one poll's got 6 of the top 15 teams in the country are in the ECAC, another's got 7. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. And as a commissioner, we're hopeful that they all have a lot of success. They win their non-conference games, they battle each other to great games in our league, and then at the end of the year, hopefully one of them winds up on top.
Doug, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Doug Christensen, the ECAC Men's and Women's Ice Hockey Commissioner, was our guest for this second period of play. Clarkson with the lone goal. Haley Wynn, her first of the year, third point of the year as well, as Clarkson on top on the Taco Bell scoreboard. By the score of 3-0. Stay tuned. Our second intermission on ESPN Plus comes your way next.
Again behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! Hazelwood to the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Dominique Petrie joins us after 2 periods of play. Dominique, welcome to Clarkson, and congratulations on your first 2 assists today.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the first of it, the goal by Kira in the first period.
Yeah, obviously she's a freshman. She just got the puck on net, and it went in. Super pumped that I could be a part of her first goal here at Clarkson.
Well, the second one now, you came off the pile, came off the wall on the right side, and again, obviously you're shooting to score, but did you see Rebecca in front?
Yeah, one thing we've talked about all weekend is just making sure we have a good net front screen. I picked my head up and saw she was there, so just decided to lay it in. She redirected it in and buried it, which was awesome.
Dominique, now, last year you came to campus, got injured, didn't play all of last year. What was it like taking the ice for the first time yesterday afternoon? Yeah,
it was awesome. It obviously was a long time coming. Obviously not the year that I wanted last year, but was just able to get on campus, know the team, know the culture, and I was super excited to finally be able to lace the skates up and put the jersey on last night.
Well, playing for 2 historic programs, you played at Harvard, now you're playing here at Clarkson. Not to compare and contrast the two, but what's it like knowing you're going to be a part of these 2 historic programs?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hockey culture here at Clarkson is so rich. They obviously have tons of national championships and have developed so many players' games, so I'm just so lucky to be a part of it and hopefully make an impact and help our team get to a natty championship this year.
Dominique, thank you very much. Get some hydration. We'll see you in the third period.
Thank you.
Dominique Petrie, 2 assists in this game, joins after 2 periods of play. On the Taco Bell scoreboard from Shield, it is Clarkson 3, Merrimack nothing. Back with intermission number 2 after this.
Shigaren behind the net, off the back of net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! Hazelwood to the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Today what we're doing is we're hiking up the Ampersand Mountain Trailhead, and we're looking at both impacts along the trail. But what we're adding to that is just comparing what the forest is like directly around the trail versus what the forest is like 100 feet off the trail, to see how that changes both the structure of the tree, and that may or may not change our perception of the recreational users of this site. And what's cool about the Ampersand Trailhead is that it passes through this area of old-growth temperate northern hardwood forests. This includes trees like the sugar maple, which is a big tree, and eastern hemlock and yellow birch. And it's really a great example of old-growth forests in eastern United States. Really, it's one of the finest examples of an old-growth temperate northern hardwood forest in the world. You know, we're mixing this like a strict plant ecology, community ecology study with this recreational dynamics to try to get an idea of how to approach this really complicated problem of recreational overuse in the High Peaks.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey. There's no experience like it.
Sharon behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets to the inside, possible shot, score! Hazel into the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Today what we're doing is we're hiking up the Ampersand Mountain Trailhead, and we're looking at both impacts along the trail. But what we're adding to that is just comparing what the forest is like directly around the trail versus what the forest is like 100 feet off the trail, to see how that changes both the structure of the tree, and that may or may not change our perception of the recreational users of this site. And what's cool about the Ampersand Trailhead is that it passes through this area of old-growth temperate northern hardwood forests. This includes trees like the sugar maple, which is a big tree, and eastern hemlock and yellow birch. And it's really a great example of old-growth forests in eastern United States. Really, it's one of the finest examples of an old-growth temperate northern hardwood forest in the world. You know, we're mixing this like a strict plant ecology, community ecology study with this recreational dynamics to try to get an idea of how to approach this really complicated problem of recreational overuse in the High Peaks.
Skill, physicality, home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. a league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained, where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey. There's no experience like it.
Welcome back on ESPN Plus. My button on there. It is a 3-0 lead after 2 periods of play between the Clarkson Golden Knights and the Merrimack College Warriors here. My name is Bob Offeld, coming to you live from the broadcast booth, brought to you by Robert Sports of Malone on Robert Sports of Malone Clarkson Golden Knights hockey. Knights got 2 in the first period, 1 more in period number 2. Also special thanks to ECAC Men's and Women's Ice Hockey Commissioner Doug Christensen, who was our guest for the entirety of period number 2 when Clarkson got the 3rd goal of the game. Here are some game highlights for you from the first 2 periods of play as the Knights got goal scoring going early in the first, and then Wynn got that goal to shoot and score after Menotti had to say they go up and over the crossbar. Some great passing as well in the net front, and better saves by Hogarth, and a good stop here on the breakaway by Menotti, one of her 5 stops. Menotti has stopped all 10 in period number 2. And again, a good stop by Hogarth and 2 good stops by Hogarth for the Warriors, and a 2-on-1 stop here as well as Bogdan passed for Gosling, or for Goodwin rather. Goodwin made the save, or was stoned in front. And the Knights back with the 3-0 lead after 2. Win the goal in period number 2. It was Kira Hurry and also Rebecca Morissette, as we heard Dominique Petrie, who has 3 assists through the first 2 periods of play for Clarkson, allude to, with Hurry getting the shot under the pad of the Merrimack goaltender, and then of course the tip by Morissette through the 5-hole as well for the 2nd goal of the game in the first period of play. Clarkson won last night with a score of 5-0. Out-of-town scores are brought to you by J.C. Merriman's on the Potsdam Norwood Road. Here's what's going on around ECAC women's hockey thus far. RIT and RPI, no score in period number 1. They began at 3. St. Cloud State has extended its lead to 4-0 in period number 2, or number 3, I should say, out in St. Cloud. And finally, it is Cornell beating Toronto right now in the first period of play. It's an exhibition game. Toronto played at Princeton on Friday, at Cornell today. It's a 4-1 lead for the Cornell Big Red in women's ECAC hockey. Don't forget, we're on the air again next coming Friday evening, 6 o'clock on both ESPN Plus and on B99.3 FM. For the Clarkson women, as they host Boston College, which would have been the home opener for the women, but again, Merrimack having some ice issues that led to that. Upcoming schedule here: Clarkson is hosts Boston College, then a 4-game road swing at Vermont, then at Robert Morris after a weekend off in between. So the 13th and 14th women don't play, and then they visit Robert Morris, who is back in college hockey after a couple years out. The women and men of Robert Morris are back in action. That's great to see for college hockey. So again, 2 in the books here. Clarkson with the 3-0 lead. Thus far on the power play, Clarkson is 1 for 3, Merrimack 0 for 4. And in fact, the one bid you saw from Goodwin was a shorthanded bid on a 2-on-1 in that 2nd period of play. Knights will move from our left to right. Warriors from right to left. Brought to you by Copley Home and Heart. And we are set and underway. Knights possess inside their end. Player flipped in the neutral zone and no call as the Knights dump it around behind. 19:38 to go in the 3rd. Clarkson leading 3-0. Churkowski leaves it deep for Petrie. Cherkowski passes in front for a backhander. It floats and knocked out of the air by the defenseman for the Warriors, Haley Chang. It got over the glove of the goaltender Hogarth, and Chang batted it off the goal line with her glove legally. Icing signal for, but we waved off as to it is Brooke McQuigg in the right wing corner, feeds to the net front on a line change. That springs Edmonds the other way. Edmonds on the wall left side for Lindbergh. In below the goal line. A minute gone in the third. Clarkson leads it 3-zip. Possessed by the Knights, now feed in front, and knocked down there was Allison Reeb. She's back to her feet. Down the wall comes Peyton Evans with it. Warriors looking for their first goal of the weekend. Stopped in front. Tegan Inglis plays it below the goal line. Knights possess up and out. Off the skate of Hicks and Kerwin as well. The 8, 9, 10 line with Hicks, Stevenson, and Kerwin out. Now stolen off the bench by Darcy Lappin. Her pass blocked. Good movement by the Warriors through center now. In onside, a shot towards the net, off the post. Ringing the post is Emma Pfeffer. On the glove side on Minotti. Still 3-0 is the lead. Pfeffer holds in the high slot. Battles for a shot. Knocked free and pulled away by the Warriors now. Towards the net, it gets through. A save made by Minotti through a screen as the puck was slid along the ice. As Riley Horlock got a chance at goal. Oh, we have a penalty there. That was going to be interference, maybe Morgan Solveig Gisler. So replay of coming here, we'll look at the chance on the goal line. Next whistle maybe. We'll get power play for the Knights right now. The players dig left wing side. Knights on their 4th power play of the game, brought to you by Coakley Home and Hardware. Body kicking is the call on Gisler. Finally, the puck. We're going to have a penalty on the Knights, I believe. Or is it delay of game? I think it's going to be a delay of game called on the Warriors. Or covering her hand on the puck. So, Nemes at 250. Knights on their first 5-on-3 of the campaign. Warriors clear. Knights 3, Warriors 0. It's going to be Wynn to her right. Over the line for Alexi Gay. Wynn and Gosling playing trade me. Pass back for Gosling to the line, caught by Wynn. In Wynn's feet. Back for Nicole Gosling. Back for Wynn for a one-timer off a leg. Wynn keeps it alive. Walking line for Gosling. Now for Gay. 3D on this 5-on-3. Wynn, backdoor feed for a chance off the bottom of the crossbar from Ann Cherkowski. Gay behind for Cherkowski, 42 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Back for Haley Wynn. Wynn high slot, looks to her right. Gosling, a one-timer, pad save made, cleared back down the ice. Kelly Hogarth with some strong stops. Now Minotti makes the pass ahead and finds Cherkowski over the line. Cherkowski waits and holds. Cherkowski looks for a trailer now. Chance for a shot, and the save is made. Rebound loose, and Hogarth falls on it after the shot taken by Swiderski. Hogarth able to keep it out of the net. As you see Cherkowski carrying on the replay. And off the bench came Sarah Swiderski. Now 7 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Warriors cleared off the glass and out. So Merrimack has killed off the 2-player advantage. Now has 20 seconds to kill on the penalty against Nemus. Petrie, 3 assists so far to the line. For Morissette, who falls into the corner. Morissette back to her feet. In 3 seconds, the power play expires. Knight's still with it, however. Swiderski to her right. Hurry for a tip save, rebound. Hurry shot tipped in front there by Lappin. And Lappin holds back to the right wing side. Hurry's pass is tipped up and out of play by Oosterveld. Slowing things down. Clarkson leading 3-0 here in the third frame. On Clarkson Golden Knight Women's Hockey, brought to you by Robert Sports of Malone. Knights win the faceoff. Frenette below for Bogdan. And behind that it comes for Peyton Evans. Pfeffer. Through center and poked away here. Losing the stick was Swiderski. She gets it back. And behind the goal it comes for the Knights. They have some time and space. Brought ahead by Swiderski. To her right for Bogdan, a bit too far. Swiderski digs for it and plays it back in behind the Merrimack College goaltender, Callie Hogarth, who has 17 saves through 2+. 6 minutes gone in the third. Clarkson leading 3-0. We're going to move to 2-0 on the campaign. They host the Eagles of Boston College, also from Hockey East. Puck rolled past Wynn back down the ice. She gets back on it. Icing waved off as her and Lindbergh go to it. Well, the pass back to the right point by the Warriors eludes everybody and rolls back wide of Hogarth, who will play it back for Nemus. Hicks takes it away for Clarkson in below the goal line. Knocked away and pulled free by Mary Edmonds. Edmonds to the line and out, but Clarkson possesses. Wynn, her pass tipped in by Bailey Kerwin. Knights change up. 13:05 to go in this third period. Oosterveld gets a touch of the pass down the ice. Wrapped back around, pulled free now by Tenenby. Plays it with Oosterveld and McKinley up front. McKinley holds right wing corner, back for Oosterveld. Oosterveld forced to the boards by Hurry. Hurry a hold on her there. Shipped high to the air now. Loose puck played across the goal mouth. Nobody home. Engaging is Solveig Gisler. Behind the net, Gisler feeds in front, knocked away by Minotti. Play to the line and out. On the move for the Knights is Cherkowski. She puts pressure on Zott. Cherkowski kicks it to the corner as McQuigg tied up with Zott. Knights keep it alive in the home whites. Petrie looking for her 4th assist of this contest. She's been in all 3. Merrimack able to work it across their own blue line. Knights possess. Swiderski backhands it just wide of the netminder. She'll chase her dump in. Zott pulls it free. Zott forced to the boards on the left wing side. Knights possess in neutral ice. Swiderski again. Pass across. McKinley to it for the Warriors. Knocked free now for Gisler. Warriors on the move, looking for their first goal of the weekend. They lose possession at neutral ice. Evans pokes it ahead. Out the way for Gosling, who had 3 points last night. Tonight has an assist. Knights on the move, right wing side. Goodwin speeds on the right wing board, trying to feed Lappin kind of in the net. Got a penalty coming here on Merrimack. It'll be a cross check with 10:59 to go in the third. This time it'll be Evans getting the gate. Clarkson was on their 5th power play. .901 time the penalty. Cross-checking the call on Evans. Knights on the Coakley Home and Hardware power play looking to add to their 3-0 lead. Kira Hurry at the right point, moves to the high slot, the lefty shot, back for Goodwin. Goodwin towards goal, Aubrey does it off the skate. Pulled free by Swiderski. Left deep here for Laidlaw, back for Swiderski, towards the net, it gets through and the save is made. Ryan McGill, former Golden Knight. And Emily Wisniewski also back. And let's see, a penalty called on the Knights. It's going to be on Catterall. Must be for a slash late. 9:35. Merrimack goes on its 5th power play of the game. Clarkson its 6th power play, I should say. With the 5-on-3 they had moments ago. On the face-off, Ingles in front, stick save by Minotti. Rebound, another pad save by Minotti. That time on Allison Reed. Good stops by her. Merrimack on the 4-on-4. Lindbergh. Leaves it right wing boards. Off the bile, it comes on a backhander. Minotti, another pad save with the backhander as the Warriors bidding for their first goal. Down the right wing board, it comes from a 3. It's going to be Gay, pulled down by Ingles. Knights wanted the call, none forthcoming. They dig behind the net, played back for Kirsten McQuigg. Looks for a backdoor feed, and cutting was Wynn. On the 4-on-4, pulled free with the Knights. Alexi Gay shoots towards net wide of the goal. Stolen again by the Knights. Right wing corner. Holding is Cherkowski. She moves to the right point, knocked away from her and Wynn. Digging for it is Race Zott. And the Warriors finally possessed with Ingles. Rolling it back into Clarkson's zone. In 2 seconds, it'll be a power play now for the Warriors. 30-second carryover, long pass down the ice, kicked along by Chang. Pulled free now by the Knights and Petrie. Petrie in the right wing corner. Quick shot towards goal, it's off Petrie's glove. Swiderski serves it deep into the right wing side. As now the Lappin yanked down, Chang ahead around the goal. 8:27 to go in the third. Team's back at 5-on-5 right now. And a long pass down the ice, blocked by Chang, kicked back in by the Warriors, and they'll change up. Minotti, 11 stops. High pass off a glove down the ice, that springs Lappin. As she's walled off by Gisler. To the line and out. Back to it is Kira Hurry. Quick pass along for Petrie, but icing called on the Knights with 7:53 to go. We cannot take our break due to that icing. Clarkson 2 in the first period from freshman, and then Wynn able to score the second goal. The third goal, I should say, his first goal and only goal of the second and third periods. Here comes Hurry. Nice bounce pass off the wall looking for Kerwin, knocked away at the blue line by the Warriors. Lindbergh ahead. And onside is Allison Reed, taken off her stick. Edmonds in the way for Lindbergh, kicked away from her. 7:27 to go in the third period of play. Clarkson leads 3-0. Back to it, Kiera Hurry with veteran Kirsten McQuigg, who's stick on the ice, pulled through by the Warriors now. Shot from the high slot. Nemus shot blocked there by Kerwin. It's able to clear. .21-11 of the shots. Chang holds and passes across to her right. Win around the net. Get a whistle for, going to have a penalty called on Clarkson. Arm going in the air, and I believe it'll be for a high stick. That's going to be called on Stevenson. With that, we'll break. The Knights enjoying the 3-goal lead on the Taco Bell scoreboard after another penalty kill. Clarkson 3, Merrimack nothing. Back with more after this on ESPN+.
Intermission Garen behind the net, off the back of the net for herself, steps up front, score! Sets the inside, possible shot, score! Hazel into the back and score!
I found Clarkson to be engaging and inspiring with all of its talented people, and especially students and professors.
Take your strengths and materials, you take your material science, and then we actually get to use it in a real-world engineering environment.
One of the best things about the PT program here is we don't spend most of our time in the classroom. The program tries to prioritize that patient-therapist contact.
Speed, skill, physicality. Home to college hockey's elite teams, coaches, and student athletes. ECAC Hockey, 12 programs competing at the highest level. A league where champions are born and world-class professionals are trained. Where history is abundant and a commitment to the cutting edge is unrivaled. The best facilities, the fiercest competition. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Power play again for the Warriors. High sticking is the call on Clarkson. And Stevenson now shot towards goal. Not that loose puck, but not another pad save as she able to use her pads to keep it out of the Knights' net. 6:23 to go, minute 40 remains. Tenenby rolls it around behind the Knights' net, rolled back down the ice. Knights on the penalty kill, brought to you by the inspectors. Warriors 0 for 6 thus far on the player advantage. Loose puck in front of the Knights bench as Kirsten McQuigg plays it back. Win on the pass from Gosling resets. Long pass down the ice. Chance in front for Cherkowski cutting towards goal. Knocked off her stick. Tenenby, 1-on-3 over the line. Knocked across the blue line by the stick of Gosling. 37 to go in the Warrior power play. They're in onside now. Drop pass back. Evans kicks it along. Evans can't keep it in. Backs off the blue line. Resets for one more rush. Edmonds couldn't reach it. Win to it on her forehand. Finds a lane and clears it back down the ice. Under 5 to go in the third. Clarkson leading by the score of 3-0. Evans will hold it behind her own net. Oosterveld knocked away by the Knights. Power play over now. Teams back at 5-on-5. McKinley holds for Merrimack. Her pass blocked. Her path blocked as well. Petrie. Or Lappin, I should say, down the wall. Left wing side. Knights steal. Looking for a backdoor feed for Hurry. Looking for her second marker of the contest. Giving go feed out of the corner, knocked away from her. Rolled down the ice. Icing will be called with 4:08 to go. Another face-off inside Merrimack's end. Stay tuned after the game for the St. Lawrence County IDA post-game show. We'll hear from Golden Knight coaching staff and our player of the game as well. Edmonds to the line and out. Oosterveld will peel off for a line change, playing it off the high glass in behind. Rink-wide pass for Bogdan. She handles, taken away now by Emma Pfeffer. Loose puck to the line. Great work there by Natalie Nemes to keep it alive. Fournette passed it ahead for Bogdan. Back for Swiderski. Bogdan rolls it around behind. Clarkson 3, Merrimack nothing here in the third. They won 5-0 yesterday in the season opener. Nemes for Ferguson. For Chang for a shot blocked there by Swiderski. Pfeffer at the left point. Her shot redirected by a stick wide of the goal. 3 minutes remain in the third period. Knights enjoying the advantage here as Fournette on the wall for herself. Right wing side. Letting it ride, and Gay lets it ride as well. She'd have been offside if she touched it. Touched the long, deep in behind Julia Menotti, who has 12 saves thus far. Flip back down the ice, and Peyton Evans back on it. Off the wall and out. Won by Wynn in neutral ice and flip back in behind. It's content to just do that the rest of the way. Taking off the puck in neutral ice. Now a hard bump there on Bridget Stevenson, no call. Stevenson back on it for Rhea Hicks. Touched along deep by Kerwin for a line change now. 1:50 to go in the third. A 3-point game yesterday for Gosling, a 3-point game today for Petrie. Petrie with 3 assists on the afternoon. The Warriors play it back into Clarkson's zone. Under 90 to go in the third. Out comes Clarkson with it. Touch back in over the line now. It's going to be Czerkowski rather. Her pass off a skate. Kicks back into neutral ice. Oosterveld gains speed. Moves through, centered up in below the goal line. Warriors hold in the corner now. Left wing side. High flip is touched along. Squirts to the line and not out. Nice play by the Warriors, keeping it in. Nemes Take it off her stick, and we get a whistle for a penalty. High stick is the call. This will give Merrimack their 7th power play of the game and help pad Clarkson's penalty kill stats, if they're able to hang on. Kirsten McQuigg called for the high stick. Coming with at the 19:34 mark. Wristed down the ice on the penalty kill by the Knights. Losing the stick there was Goodwin. 17 to go. So Clarkson got 2 freshmen scoring the goals in the first. Hurry and Morissette win, one of the veterans, U.S. national player, scoring in the second. 30 seconds to go, and the Knights will open the season with 2 consecutive shutouts. And the first shutout in the career of Julia Menotti. Unofficially 12 saves, and the Knights win by the final of 3-0. Sweeping the Warriors 5-0 and 3-0. Menotti wasn't called upon for a lot, but when she was, she played very, very well. Again, 2 in the first by the Knights, Kira Hurry and Rebecca Morissette. And then Haley Wynn knocking one down as well. Thank you, Josh. The Knights set to celebrate their fans here. A 5-0 win for the Knights in the first contest, and then 3-0 in period number 2, or in game number 2, I should say. And the first shutout in the career of Julia Menotti. Joined now on the post-game show here by Golden Knights associate coach Tony Macy. And Coach Macy, welcome along here. The Knights, you had to be pleased with how the weekend went for your squad. Had to be pleased, Tony, how your weekend went. Understood.
Oh, try again. See, I messed it up already.
So anyway, let's talk about the play of the freshman, Tony, as he had 2 goals in the first from Kira Hurry and Rebecca Morissette.
Yeah, I think our freshmen have done a good job stepping in and, filling some holes that we had. And they've come right out of the gates playing pretty hard. It starts in practice, and they've done a good job there. So good to see that them have some success here early.
How about Julia Menotti? Her first career shutout, again, coming on the heels of a shutout by Pasechnik last night. Let's assess her play for a bit. Again, she didn't have a lot of chances, but there were some very tough saves, I thought, of the 15 she had. Yeah,
she definitely came up big for us when she needed to. Like you said, there were a couple where, she had to really extend, make it a little backdoor save. Really, really proud of her and her game today.
Going into next weekend, you have Boston College and a bit of maybe a next level of competition. What do you expect from the Eagles?
Well, they've always got a good squad, so just expecting to have a good push from them. I think it'll be good games. We're going to have to make sure that we're bringing our game, keep working from weekend to weekend and getting better at the little things.
Tony, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Tony Macy, associate coach for the Clarkson women. We're going to be joined by Haley Wynn momentarily here as she gets her headset on. Haley Wynn, U.S. national team player, and also a player that scored the third goal of the game. Haley, let's talk about your goal in the second period of play, first of all.
Not much to it. I think all the forwards were kind of scrumming around the net, had a good net front presence, so kind of just put a puck on net, and it was lucky to trickle in.
It kind of reminded you of the goal yesterday by Trukowski, did it not? Almost the same way, and you were maybe the last person to see it go in.
Yeah, I had no idea it went in. Definitely thought I got tipped or something. Again, there was really all three forwards were kind of battling in front, so obviously they had a good screen on the goalie, so she couldn't see it, so props to them.
Let's talk about some of the freshmen, including on the blue line, Kiera Hurry. Let's assess her play from your perspective through the first two games that you saw.
Yeah, she's been playing awesome. Definitely being able to kind of come in right away and step up and play big minutes for us. So she's going to be a big impact on the team, and she already has been, obviously, these first two games and got a goal under her belt, so she deserved that one, and excited to see what she does this season.
And one last question for us. You can go celebrate with your teammates. Your summer, very busy with the U.S. national team. How has that prepared you for your upcoming season?
It was obviously a fun summer, kind of getting to play with those players, but kind of just prepared me for this pace, and I got to bring a lot of the things I learned onto this team, on and off the ice, leadership-wise. So it's been fun being around the girls here and just trying to build on top of every game, and excited for this season.
Well, Haley Wynn, 2 assists yesterday, a goal today. Congratulations on a weekend sweep.
Thank you so much.
Haley Wynn, Clarkson Jr. and U.S. national team player, joining us on the post-game show brought to you by the St. Lawrence County IDA. I want to thank all the folks here at Shield, Josh Bartel and everyone else, and Hannah Schweitzer, our director. Final score on the Taco Bell scoreboard from Cheel in Game 2 of this two-game set. It was the Clarkson women sweeping Merrimack. Clarkson winning 3-0 over the Warriors. Thanks for watching on ESPN+.